Hello, grandchildren. Today's story is Winnie the Pooh and some bees. Once upon a time, a very long time ago now, about last Friday, Winnie the Pooh lived in a forest under the name of Sanders. One day, when he was out walking, he came to an open place in the middle of the forest. And in the middle of this place was a large oak tree. From the top of the tree, there came a loud buzzing noise. Winnie the Pooh began to think. That buzzing means something, he said to himself. You don't get a buzzing noise like that, just buzzing and buzzing, without it meaning something. If there's a buzzing noise, somebody's making a buzzing noise. And the only reason for making a buzzing noise that I know of is because you're a bee. Then he thought another long time and said, and the only reason for being a bee that I know of is making honey. And then he got up and said, and the only reason for making honey is so I can eat it. So he began to climb the tree. He climbed, and he climbed, and he climbed. And as he climbed, he sang a little song to himself. Isn't it funny how a bear likes honey? Buzz, buzz, buzz. I wonder why he does. Then he climbed a little farther, and a little farther, and then just a little farther. By that time, he had thought of another song. It's a very funny thought that if bears were bees, they'd build their nests at the bottom of trees. And that being so, if bees were bears, we shouldn't have to climb up all these stairs. He was getting rather tired now, but he was nearly there. And if he just stood on that branch, crack! Oh, help! Said Pooh, dropping down 10 feet to the branch below him. If only I hadn't, he said, as he bounced 20 feet onto the next branch. You see what I meant to do, he explained, as he turned head over heels and crashed through the next 6 branches. Then he spun round 3 times and flew gracefully into a gorse bush. It all comes of liking honey so much, he said. Oh, help! He crawled out of the gorse bush, brushed the prickles from his nose, and began to think again. And the first person he thought of was Christopher Robin. So Winnie the Pooh went round to his friend Christopher Robin, who lived behind a green door in another part of the forest. "Good morning, Christopher Robin," he said. "Good morning, Winnie the Pooh." "I wonder," said Pooh, "if you've got such a thing as a balloon about you." "A balloon? What do you want a balloon for?" Winnie the Pooh looked round to see that no one was listening. "Honey," he said in a deep whisper. "But you don't get honey with balloons," said Christopher Robin. "I do," said Pooh. Christopher Robin had been to a party the day before at the house of his friend Piglet. There had been balloons at the party. He had brought a green one and a blue one home with him. "Which balloon would you like?" Christopher Robin asked. Pooh put his head between his paws and thought very carefully. "It's like this," he said. "When you go after honey with a balloon, the great thing is not to let the bees know you're coming." Now, if you have a green balloon, they might think you were part of the tree and not notice you. And if you have a blue balloon, they might think you were part of the sky and not notice you. "Wouldn't they notice you underneath the balloon?" asked Christopher Robin. "They might or they might not," said Pooh. "You never can tell with bees." He thought for a moment. "I shall try to look like a small black cloud. That will deceive them." "Then you had better have the blue balloon," said Christopher Robin, and so it was decided. They both went out with the blue balloon, and Christopher Robin took his gun with him, just in case. And Winnie the Pooh went to a very muddy place and rolled and rolled and rolled until he was black all over. When the balloon was blown up as big, Christopher Robin and Pooh both held on to the string. Then Christopher Robin let go suddenly, and Pooh Bear floated up into the sky. He stayed there, level with the top of the tree.